All right. Well, good morning, everybody, to our Tuesday 20. I've really enjoyed this continuation of the topic of just simplifying our systems and kind of a great place for us to come together, talk on what's going on in boot camp, making sure that we're all feeling really confident with our next steps. And kind of hearing also from those of what's really working well, and just it's fun to see all of your faces, right? We get to kind of all check in from all around the country. So I think the topic today is cute babies, Jenna Breath, that's cute. Topic is gonna again be on really sharing what we have, really sharing the full trilogy, and how we are. We've used the word sponsoring in the past, but I think one thing that resonated with me this year that it's like I always knew, but it really, really made sense is at Go Global, I was sitting in Doug Wood's class, and he had shared a picture of a guy like on a boat throwing somebody a life preserver. And he said, offering someone the 5-in-1 only and not the full trilogy is like seeing someone drowning and only tossing them a life preserver, but not pulling them in. And so the visual of that was really powerful to me, is that there's people out there that are struggling. They're drowning literally in life. And we can toss them help in their health, and we can help them shed the weight. But I'm sure everyone on the call, we can agree that there's the thread between the healthy mind and the healthy finances is pretty deep. And that if we aren't seeing that our offering is bigger and wider than that, and bringing people into our whole community, like imagine pulling them into the boat, like the Take Shape for Life boat, right? We need to bring people in to really assist them so we can take them to shore so they can thrive. So that for me is just a visual every day, is like I can't just offer somebody just the program anymore. There's so much more. And the only, honestly, someone come up, what's the only wrong way to share the like health coaching with somebody?
Not sharing it.
Not sharing it. Absolutely. So like, okay, we're all going to say it a little different. We're all going to have our own flair and tweak and in that. The only wrong way to do it is just to not do it. It's not about being perfect and having all the right words. And so I think today, last week, Brad really challenged all of us to go be bold, share what we have. I'd love to hear from just some of you guys, the success throughout the week, who had some great experiences. I'm actually going to call on Sherry because I see her on today. And I didn't prep anybody, but I know that she's in action. So Sherry, you want to just kind of share, you've been using the 3-way calls and just following the steps.
Yeah, no, I'd love to. So I will say, like, I was a little, like, I've heard it for like a year probably, doing the 3-way calls, and for whatever reason resisted it until we really dug in. And I think you even helped me, like, maybe what to say the first person, but from there on out, it was super easy once I started doing it, and found that people were really open to it. So I think that's where I had a concept maybe that someone might think it was weird. And that was totally me projecting that, because everyone's like, sure, I'd love to, talk to your coach and tell my story. So a couple of the ways that I've approached people, one of the most recent ones one of the first ones that we did, where I was like, this is gold, this is genius, because it was an acquaintance that I had that was being coached by one of my coaches who didn't renew. So she rolled up to me. And so I didn't, ever have that initial conversation with her and stuff. So when I brought Susan on the call, it just led right into coaching. And she was like, yeah, my friend's doing it, but she's ordering from Medifast Direct and all these things that I had just never heard. And she just laid them all out for Susan. And I was like, we got off the call. I'm like, I don't think that could have gone better. So I basically had just texted her and said, hey, she's doing the Nursing Mothers program. You're kicking butt. You're doing awesome. My coach loves hearing success stories. Like, that's literally why she's that drives her every morning to wake up and just hear all the amazing success stories. So would you be open to hopping on a call and just sharing how it's going for you? She wrote back, sure. I was like, okay, let's do it. And then the other approach that I've used is clients that are struggling a little bit, and I feel like I've done everything that I know to say and do. And so I just will say, you know, like, would you be open to hopping on a call with my coach? And then just, she has a lot of experience with whatever it is they're struggling with. And so it might be, and I've learned a lot too, like Susan will say things that maybe I never thought to say, but then also she'll say some of the same things I've been saying. And then they're like, oh, that's genius. I never thought about that, or whatever. So it's just twofold. Like, I'm learning, but then also they're hearing it from like a different voice and a different perspective. And so, and then the other thing I would say is, over the past 2 weeks, we've been moving. So I've just made that like a rock in my schedule, where there might be other things that aren't getting done as well as they normally do. But if I just commit to those 2 to 3 three-way calls every week, my business is still moving and growing. And I definitely feel like that's the highest leverage activity that I could be doing when, you know, you have a crazy week, or, you know. So I don't know, anything else you would add, Susan?
No, that was perfect. It really just, I love that when I said, let's set up 2 to 3 this week, there was a little bit of hesitation, like, what do I say? How do I do it? So thank you for just assisting people with the verbiage. You just put it out there. And then after the first one, I remember us, you know, kind of doing a debrief after, and you're like, this can be addicting. Like, it was so fun. And we just saw better, you're like, if nothing else, it's better integrating the clients, and it's really showing the community of support that we offer. So hopefully, if you haven't started doing 3-way celebration calls with your clients, I'm going to bring Brad on to speak to a few things, but the people that come to mind, right, is really like, who of your clients are doing really well? Everyone loves to share their story. So just letting them know, hey, my coach loves to hear stories. You're doing really well. Is it okay if I 3-way them in? And so that they can, I've been bragging about you, and they would love to hear, you know, what's going on with you. And it's just simple, and just kind of give your coach a heads up when you do your celebration calls, and they'll be available. So Brad, I'm going to bring you on. I'm sure you have some rock stars here in the group too that are just loving the 3-way calls, have some success over the last few weeks.
Yeah, and we're keeping this really short and sweet. Now I have some tips on it as we're finishing up here. But in case you're wondering why we've done 3 calls in a row on the same topic, because one, people have been getting into excessive action on them afterwards, and they're loving it. And if you're like me, some people are like Sherry, like we talked about. I heard it for like a year, and then I reluctantly did it, and it was awesome. It's kind of like how coaching was for me, except I waited 4 years to do it, and don't know why I waited that long. I'm just going to open up. Does anyone else have some like calls that went awesome this week, and they utilize this 3-way call for, and want to share? Anyone on here at all? If shy people, let's call on somebody, because I see people on here that I've done 3-way phone calls with. All right, I'm going to call on Dan actually first, because I know Dan shared last week. Dan, can you hear me? You shared last week, Dan, but you haven't stopped. We've done more 3-way phone calls, and you've actually also utilized Terry for a couple that I wasn't available for. Just share some more thoughts on what's working for you. You've done it from the client celebration to pre-clients to exploring coaching to getting coaches started. What's worked well for you on it?
I think in addition to what we've touched on in the past before is, like you said, there's a variety of personalities with your mentor team. So Brad has a personality, Terry has a personality, whoever your mentor, your coach is, and your business coach and your global director or presidential director they have personalities and skills that are unique and different. And so they connect with individuals unique and differently. And I love that because, being able to use our whole team and use that in a way to help them, relate to people. And you learn a lot more when when they do relate. And we've talked about that, where you learn things about your client or your potential coach or your potential client, that you wouldn't have learned before. But I think that's a huge part of using our whole team and using your whole mentor team, because you can connect on a different level when you have that. I've seen that this week. Definitely. It's been a lot of fun.
Awesome. I'm glad you shared on that. So I'll just kind of leave some last tips on this as we're kind of hitting on this topic, because I see some people's eyes starting to I'm hanging out with my little buddy. Sorry about that, guys. There's basically 3 types of calls that you could be doing. He's been quiet this whole time, and then as soon as he hears Dad talk, he's going to talk too. There's 3 types of calls that you can be doing with people, and I love it because basically, like, I'm really busy. I'm a busy dad. I'm busy in this. If anyone's been paying attention, like, we've been really busy recently. Trying to even get sleep as a dad who's got a little guy in teething. I love, for me, because I keep doing calls with Terry. I actually got out 2 this morning that I did. And it's that I don't have to think about getting a call done. I don't have to think about scheduling it. I just have to invite someone to a call. And it's basically like I don't have to worry about inviting to a party and then throwing the party. I just have to worry about inviting to the party that's already there. So there's basically, as you look at this week, this is just, we've gotten so simplified in our systems, and there's so many great things happening right now. Literally, our system is bringing 5 candidates into our business a month, and that's coaches or people that want to change their health. And as Susan both eloquently put, it's, and all, because throwing someone our program and just talking to them about weight loss is really, that's like throwing them a life preserver and saying, peace out. Oh, did you want to be rescued? I thought you were enjoying the ocean. I'm sorry. They want to be pulled in. They want to make it back to the beach and hang out in the sand and whatnot. San Diego is a great place to go. I think a lot of us are going in March. When you look at your week, we want to basically, what can I do to move that forward? Basically, take the pressure off of yourself. We've got so many things going on in the world, and we're so busy. And Take Shape for Life happens in the cracks. Yes, in that bottom right-hand corner of the success tracker, do we have some amazing quick tips on how you can move people forward each day and just show up in their world? And literally every single day is look back on your day and you rest your head on the pillow. Did I move more people forward today than I did yesterday? Is one person one touch closer? Are they one nice message closer? Are they one follow-up email closer? Are they one call closer? Are they one, one healthy huddle tonight closer, et cetera, et cetera. And then when you're also looking at it, just say you have 3 options. So you have basically exploring getting healthy to use with your health coach, with your business coach. You have client story call to explore what's been going great about their journey, and also exploring health coaching, like they've expressed interest and now you're just getting together to talk about it. So I want you guys to look at your list this week and say, who do I want? Who's my top client or my top 3 client that I want to say, you know what? I've been doing this dance with them forever. Maybe if I invited them to meet my health coach, maybe that would be the thing that would finally do it, because it's more than just me inviting them to get started, because it's like inviting them to come over to your house. They can come over anytime. So it's always like, next week. But if you invite them to meet somebody, you're inviting them to a certain time. So there's that possibility. I want you to look at your best clients and say, who's my best client? And is it just me and them playing the game, bouncing the ball back and forth, and we're over playing by ourselves? Or have I brought them in to play with a whole fun group of people? So if they're not on the calls, that's another great indication. But grab your support team and say, I'd like to, you've been doing so well. I'd like to introduce you to my health coach that's helped me so well. She'd love to hear your journey, or they'd like to hear your journey. Whichever route you go, these are just a bunch of different things that I've used to get my clients to explore their health at another level with my health coach. And if you've been talking and doing that dance about someone saying they're interested, and this is another Susan LaBelle tip, Susan/Ashley, maybe you've been talking about coaching, but you've been saying you would make a great health coach. Mind you, that's not a question, that's a statement. So you can't get an answer to a statement. But let's say you've been doing that dance with someone for a while. I want you to say, invite them to just explore it more with your health coach. Hey, this is the person that helped me find out that coaching was right for me. It may be a fit, it may not, but they're awesome. And I can tell you more about my story, but also they're pretty awesome themselves. People trust people that people they trust, if that makes any sense at all. So that's kind of like my last tips on the week, is just look at it. And literally, if you were to do nothing with your business all week, if you were the busiest person in the world, you can segment off 3-way phone calls a week, you would do massive amounts of change to your business. And the last thing I'll say on that is, actually I had one last tip on that, that I was going to say. What was I going to say? Susan, save me. I was going to say something. I was going to say something really good. It was going to be good, whatever it was.
I'm sorry, I usually can read your brain, Brad.
I know. We can talk about it before. had one last thing. Oh, it was how to do them, how to make them really easy. One is your go-to is you probably have a 3-way text thread with you, your direct supporter, and then all the way up to me. I'm available. Like, if I'm not available, I won't be available. But if I am available, you better believe you got me. So, go to that text thread and just grab a time with your client. So if you're setting that up with your client, so you don't go back and forth, you say, hey, when are a couple times that work for you? You grab a couple times, like, tonight at 8 or tomorrow at 10. Someone from your support team is going to be available for you, most likely. And it's just a short call. Ideally, they're going to be about 10 minutes, maybe a little bit on the shorter side. Maybe if it goes really well, maybe on the longer side. Susan, we did one this week with one of your awesome clients, and she was a talker. We ended up talking for, I think it was a total of 22 minutes, probably one of the longest calls I've done, but it was awesome. And now she's like, oh, I'm going to start hopping on those huddles. And we started talking about grabbing coffee, and she doesn't understand coaching, but it came up because she says she wants to help her dad, and her dad got really sick this last year, and now she wants to be the person that affects health in her family. She's like, nuh-uh, that's not happening in my family. And all these people that she's noticing too as well. So these are just my left tips for the week, and just some different cadences that you can bring them up with. So hopefully those were some tangible tips on how you can utilize them and why they would be a good fit for what you're doing.
I love it. And we have just 2-3 minutes is, coming out of the boot camp, I felt like there were some amazing action steps last week too, with utilizing social media in a way that isn't where we're just a time suck on social media. Being very on purpose to grow that sphere of influence, and to not only expand that sphere of influence, but to be very on purpose and actually using it to be social and create relationships on social media. Does anybody just coming out of Saturday that maybe tuned into that has utilized some of those tips? Anybody want to share on their success with being a little more dialed in with their screen time? I know there's doers out there. Don't be shy.
I think talking to everyone this week, everyone's got a little bit less sleep than they wanted to last night. All my calls have been tired calls this morning, so maybe we're all just waking up. Okay. You know what? Even with how busy I've been able, it was a good leverage activity to remember what to be doing. And I got some high quality messages out that resulted in some, everyone's frozen.
You're frozen, Brad, but we can hear you.
Yeah, I realized that after a second I was frozen. You know what? I just got some, without being reminded not to be time sucked on Facebook, I got some quality posts out, which got some people that are in my thought process of getting healthy and coaching to respond to. And I got some quality messages out. So I thought it was a good reminder of Doug this week to be on purpose in Facebook and how to be high leverage and not get sucked in.
Yeah, no, I agree. Shane and I were driving home. We spent 6 hours in the car on Sunday, and I just, whoever kind of came to my heart, I sent a lot of just little love messages, checking in on people, like, how's your summer? I was thinking of you, and have just a couple, coffee dates and stuff set up this week with people, and people's response back were, we haven't built that in our culture as much anymore, where people just kind of reach out or give a random call to say, like, hey, like, how's summer? Like, I miss you and thinking of you. And just the response I got back from just really genuinely, like, who was on my heart and wanted to reach out to, it's not with my intention not being, are they going to become a coach? Are they going to become a client? But just genuinely loving on people. And finding time in our day just to do that. Like, you go to bed at night, you put your head on your pillow, and like you said, who did I move potentially forward, or who did I bless today? It's a pretty powerful thing that we have to offer. So, all right, our 20 minutes are up, and I know we are all in action, busy days. So let's go. Any parting tips, Brad, that you want to just to wrap up the call?
I'm loving how we're wrapping up the boot camps with some direct steps. I've just really enjoyed it because it told me where to launch in this week. My challenge to everyone here is to do a call with a 8-month-old that wants to talk. No, my challenge is to get off this call, take 3 minutes, no more, and just say, who do I want to make sure I have a call with this week? And just step out of your comfort zone and just set it up. It literally is probably the highest leverage activity you can do. And you don't know if that's going to change someone's life, if you don't know if that's going to implement them further into their journey, maybe make them want to become a coach. And I was explaining to someone this last week, they're like, how did you create such a large ripple effect? It's like just little things that I did every single day. I think the one of the coolest examples that I have is Dawn Chow and that entire large business and everyone she's helped in her business is because Ashley and I went to a party on a Friday night that we wanted to see somebody. So one little touch was all that took. So that would be my parting thought and my challenge. 3 calls set up this week. Take 3 minutes, set them up. Which one is it? Exploring coaching, client story call, or a reason to explore getting healthy a little bit more.
I love it. Awesome. Yeah, next week we'll have a full 7 days left in the month when we kind of connect. So bring your success trackers. We'll go over some creative ways to finish August strong with our success trackers in hand and how to really maximize those last 7 days of the month and share with you some creative ways to really go all out after it and create, what you'd set out to create for August. So we'll see you then, and have a great Tuesday, everybody.